Hello BlueBrixx fans and welcome to BlueBrixx Studio. I'm Joe.
And I'm Ross.
And we brought you a Blackbird.
Isn't he sweet?
Yes, he is. But he's not as cool as the real one.
Absolutely not. Now
and as cool as the bird is, we're going to talk about this bird.
Now that is a proper bird.
Oh yes. Set from Cobi. Once again. And I really wanted to buy that. I don't know for how many weeks I badgered Micha and logistics when it's finally arrived, and I got it. Which is this one.
It looks fantastic. What's your
does.
big interest? Why did you want it? Because it looks cool?
It's a marvel of engineering.
That's true.
I mean, I can nerd about the facts of this plane for ages, but since you wanted to keep this video short, I think
We'll keep the nerding
to a minimum. This one was really a marvel of engineering. But first, let's go about the box. And this is the box, which is unfortunately glued together from the front and the back, where you can see some facts about it. And as you can see from the front, this is the Executive Edition. And before you ask, what is the Executive Edition? There's not much difference between this one and the normal ones. The main difference is that you've got separate pieces for the tail fins. What are they called?
I'd call it tail fin.
Tail fin. For the US Air Force version with the appropriate numbers here, the registry. And you have got the second pilot. I think the yellow one is just in the normal edition. You've got these gold colored edges from the stand. You've got a bigger printed tile here.
As with Cobi, it doesn't really need to be said, but we'll mention again, everything is printed.
The major difference between the normal and the executive version is the exhaust though. This one you can only get for the executive version. And if you want that, and if it's worth the difference of 13 euros to you, go for it. I did. And
I'll be honest, it adds
Yes.
a lot to it. I mean, look at it, it's fire shooting out the engines.
Oh, yes.
Now that's what you want in a plane that goes fast.
And this one went really fast. Still one of the fastest air-breathing planes in existence. It was created by the top speed Mark 3.3, I think.
Neat.
It was a beast ahead of its time. It went so fast that at full speed, the cockpit windows were heated up to more than 400 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. And it was just supposed to go so fast to escape Soviet anti-air.
Well, I think it did that.
Yes, it did. You have a stand. Of course you do. And you've also got a lot of extra pieces. You got the two pilots, which you can, of course, fit into the cockpit. The cockpit is made from molded piece, which is necessary to recreate that angle. And you can close it. You can place the pilots inside, but then you wouldn't see them.
And here you can see them quite well.
Oh,
We
yes.
shall lift like so you can see their faces. Flip the visor up. There you have them.
You've got separate hair pieces for them if you want to portray them without their helmets.
Okay.
You've also got the landing gear there, which goes here. And if you do not want to have the landing gear, Cobi supplied you with these base plate tiles with which to close the holes. So much for the extra pieces.
All right. So let's stick it back on. I mean, does it really just hold on with this?
Yes.
Wow. I mean,
And it's stable.
it is
Generally,
very stable.
The entire plane is stable except for the flaps, of course. And the only part where you can't really take it or in your hand is on the chin, on the sides here, because they are just added on and not counted in any way, shape or form. So if you grab it there, you will rip off a few tiles.
But about those tiles, they're very different to the standard looking tiles that you have from other makes.
You see lots of different tile stuff in there. You can get 1x5 plates, 2x5 plates, 2x7 plates, 2x10 tiles. I mean, if you're new to building Cobi, you need to have to be counting plates more often because they have plates in far more sizes than we do and even that Lego does.
But look how stable it is with just these two. I mean, that's fantastic. That is great. I really like that.
Yeah.
All right, but I mean, the color of it. Yes, it's mainly black, but you have the red stripes here where it says no step on the side.
Which is because this is basically this was the outer wall of the fuel tanks, which were corrugated because they expanded when everything expands when heated, and they had to include that because the plane went so hot. When it went as fast as it did, the tanks expanded, and then only were they sealed, which necessitated a very high ignition temperature fuel for those engines. The engines itself are a marvel of engineering themselves because they were using intermediate. These cones here, sorry for rambling. These cones here retracted were retractable into the fuselage of the engine itself, and no matter, depending on how fast it went, the engine created its thrust as a normal turbojet engine, and it shifted far much towards ramjet engines. If you are familiar with engines, and please pardon my nerding, turbofans engines use fanned blades to propel air into the ignition chamber, and ramjets just work by pure airspeed. So the airspeed itself forces the air into, which has efficiency improvements, and which is basically the holy grail of modern aviation, to get an engine that cycles from turbofan to ramjet, later to scramjet and back again, without having to use a different engine. And this one was already doing that quite well. Not fully, but enough so that at full speed the thrust was created by ramjet effect more than 80%.
From what year is this?
That's what it says on the box.
That's what the box is for.
It's actually, it was built in 1964, was it introduced to service. This is older than it looks.
Now you have to think something that is that old, a 60-year-old plane that looks this good, that is that fast, are fantastic. It is truly, truly cool.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful birds I've ever seen in a plane. And,
well, I'll admit the fact it's pretty by far, but I want the B2.
You think the B2 looks better than this one?
The B2 looks otherworldly.
That it does.
This is just about, you can distinguish a plane form from it. The B2, you can't. The B2 looks like an alien spaceship, and it would be my dream to see one of those. But this is cool. This is one of the best looking sets from Cobi.
Yes. So I was looking very much forward to it.
I mean, you have to think about Cobi, how they print this one molded piece here, just for this one set. It's fantastic.
Somebody fiddled with it.
That was probably me.
Yeah. Well, the engine intakes are of course also molded models, and you can attach them in a different way. And you need to pay attention because the two engine intakes look different than the spike on the tail. Which is par for the course with Cobi. You better look twice before building stuff, because the pieces are so exceptionally similar to it.
But it makes it more difficult, more challenging, which adds to the fun.
Yes.
And of course, the specialized printed pieces are fantastic as well.
And I apologize for my fingerprints all over it.
Oh,
but as soon as it finds its final place, I will polish it and clean it with cleaning alcohol to make it look as good as it deserves to look.
Fair enough. All right. Well, if you want this, you know where to get it. Certainly, you can never have enough bricks.
There will be more.
So have fun building.
And thank you for watching.
And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.